Can you see that?
Yeah.
Erik, great. Okay. Hello, welcome to the cert-manager weekly meeting on Thursday, the 11th of December. We abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct. We've got with us today Adam, Talbot, Erik. Ash is not here, right? Hemant is. I'm here. Zach? Is Zach here?
I think not. That was from last week.
Okay. And a couple of new contributors or new attendees, or at least I've never met Gabriel and Michael before. So welcome. What have we got to do next? The 5 minutes announcement and shout out. So Adam, you want to talk about the CMCTL container images?
That was last week. I think
Oh, sorry. Is this all copy and pasted?
I think we've
Yeah, I
copied and
think I
pasted.
copied it.
I think the main announcement is that we have got a lot of releases. Maybe you can take that one, Richard. You made most of them.
Right. We did. We released all of the open source components this week in response to two Go CVEs, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but they Go Vol Check was telling us that our code was indeed invoking this vulnerable code in the X509 standard library, in various parts of the X509 standard library. So we've rebuilt everything with Go 125.5 and released everything this week, which went fairly smoothly. Thanks, Erik, for sorting out all of the renovate stuff. That was great. So those are my announcements. Anyone else? And if not, we can move on to the first agenda item, which is one from Hemant on PR 8312. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's a very small PR per se. I think we discussed the issue a while back in the weekly meetings. It's basically adds the back-off duration as a flag, so that people can configure how long they want the back-off to be. The default was 1 hour, and I kept it to be 1 hour. I don't know if you want to reduce that because that will break a lot of tests and I would have to do changes to the test. So I kept it as 1 hour, but then you can add a flag to change that behavior. And I also added a test to see that that flag works, basically.
Great, thanks. Have you tested this? I know I can see you've unit tested it, but have you built cert-manager and seen the new behavior yourself?
Not really. I can try that. Yeah, I can try that today or at max by weekend. It shouldn't be a big deal to do that.
That'd be great if you've got time. Yeah.
Have we discussed to lower the default? I know it's now 1 hour, and there might be reasons for keeping it, but it seems a bit long to me.
Yeah, that was my reason of putting this PR here, was to discuss if we should reduce it or if 1 hour seems okay if it's configurable.
I can see the logic of having a really long one back when cert-manager was primarily Let's Encrypt focused.
Yeah.
You don't want to spam your Let's Encrypt server, but it does seem bizarre to have it such a long duration, especially when like that applies to all backends.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 1 hour. cert-manager would wait 1 hour after a certificate request is marked as failed before it attempts to create a new certificate request. Is that how it works?
Yep.
So this is to do with the certificate controller. Okay.
Trigger controller technically.
The trigger controller, right.
Hmm. I
Erik,
mean,
you think it should be shorter? Erik and Adam, you think it should be shorter?
even if it's cert-manager is mainly used for Let's Encrypt, where you should be careful to not get rate limited. I think 1 hour is very long, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it seems disproportionately long.
Okay.
What do you think should be the default?
I think maybe we should merge this one as is though, and then
Mhm.
lower it in a separate pull request just to keep separation of concerns.
Yeah,
Yep.
that might be a good idea, so we can get this. I mean, having it configurable is good anyway. So,
Yeah.
and then changing the default is something else.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
What I've just searched for 1 hour in the docs and I found this. I can't remember what happened here. Is this any way related?
Yeah, that's the current behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. So the documentation would be updated to say retried with exponential back off of like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever.
When we update the defaults, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joel will probably reference the configuration option to change this.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be something to put in the docs too, like that you can configure the back off duration.
Yeah. Does this update also change the helm? Did these change the helm chart? Because is it going in the config file? If it goes in the config file, you can do it in the helm chart for free. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool.
It goes into the controller config basically.
Excellent. Yeah. So we don't even need to change to helm. We can just get it for free with our current.
Yep.
Thanks, Hemant. Great work. Shall I review this? Hemant, you're gonna demonstrate some testing of this, some manual
Yeah, I
testing.
can try that. Yeah, I can try configuring it with a Helm install.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Paste into the pull request description some commands that you use to test it to make it easier for me or someone else to verify it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I've had success in the past when I've been testing some of these using the make E2E setup commands in order to just to deploy it as is with default options. And then there's a Helm values edit plugin for Helm that lets you just like edit the values and it'll of an existing Helm deployment, and that lets you mess with things.
Okay. I can try that. Yeah, that's a good tip to know.
Because the make commands make it nice and easy because it builds the images, loads them into kind, deploys everything.
Yeah. True. I think I used that for the Azure PR, if I'm not.
Thanks, Hemant. What about should we move to the next item then? Your other pull request.
Sure.
Let me open it up.
Yeah, so this one's kind of a big change, and it has a design attached to it for reference. So basically, it introduces, I think we went over briefly last time around, basically introduces renewal windows for certificate renewal through cron. And that's what this PR goes over in detail about how we can do that. So if you open up the PKI package, that's where the majority of the changes is.
PKI package.
Yeah, it's util.
Here.
Yeah, so basically, in the design spec, we had like three policies. One was renew before, the other was earliest window, and the third one was disabled. So we decided to avoid earliest window for now because it is kind of tricky to implement it. in the sense that it could lead to scenarios where the certificate is in continuous mode of renewal. So that required more attention. So we thought we could implement that on a separate PR. So this one only implements renew before and disabled.
Okay.
So disabled is pretty obvious. It doesn't put a renewal time on the cert object. So that works as before. For renew before, there are two cases. One where there is no windows mentioned. Then it uses the existing behavior of taking into account, what was it, renew duration, I think, or some field that already exists, and uses that to renew the cert. If there is windows mentioned, then it first calculates the desired renewal time, which is based on the renew before or renew before percentage, and then goes on to actually evaluate the windows to see if the time matches the windows. So there's like, I think if you scroll down, yeah, so this is the majority of the logic for renew before. And then there's two evaluations done for renew before. One is best before and the other one is best after. So best before basically tries to find a time that is before the renewal time, but it matches the window. Best after is after the renewal time within the window. And then it tries to figure out which one is nil. If best before is nil, then it just returns that. Otherwise, it returns best after. If both of them are nil, then it returns a window error saying that it can't find the time. And then I added a bunch of tests to test the renewal thing, which is in the renewal time test.go.
I just wanted to, I was going to read the, I'm looking in the wrong place. Where's the documentation for the new fields?
So what's going to happen if it can't find a time? I didn't catch that.
It is going to put an error. So it's going to error out, and there will be a status field on the cert saying that it can't find a renewal time within the window mentioned. So it's a error on the operator side because, or whoever configured the windows, right? If we can't find a window.
Okay.
I noticed a typo there. I'll fix that.
Hemant, who have you been collaborating with on this? I can't see the design in this PR. Has that been merged in a separate?
Yeah, that's been already merged. Erik and me worked on it before this PR.
So Erik, you might review this.
I can try. I'm not a big fan of huge PRs, but some PRs become huge because they have to be.
Especially when you've got code generation all over the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ignore a lot of this.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of it is like code generation.
So basically, this first PR will only extend the API and add the disabled option, right?
Renew before and disabled.
Yeah, but renew before, that's the current behavior, but not configurable, right?
No, it will be configurable. So if you put in Windows, then it will use that. But if you don't put Windows, it's the same behavior as before. So it doesn't.
So it's actually renew before with the window design.
Yeah.
Okay.
And disable just turns off renewal, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm skimming through it. I've left one minor nit, just on API naming, but that's about it.
Who's this guy's lead?
He's a Flux CD maintainer. So he lives right near me. So we also collaborated because Flux implemented kind of a similar behavior for their Flux operator rather. implemented the same behavior for sync windows.
Cool. So it's not like he's got an interest in seeing this in cert-manager. It's just that he's done something similar for Flux.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to understand all this in this meeting, but again, thanks for all your work on this, Hemant. It's great, and it sounds like Erik and Adam will give a first pass reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will do it. This is actually a feature that has been requested by our users to control which time of the day the renewals will happen, because typically that will restart their pods, which they want it to happen when they're actually working and available.
Yep. Thank you guys for looking into it.
Great. What's this from Gabriel? Is this again copied from last time, or?
No, he was here when I joined, and then somehow this got barred out from the agenda and he left the meeting. Maybe something came up. I don't know.
Should we look at it anyway and just see what it was about?
I think it's annotation stuff that Mile asked to join a meeting over.
Yeah. It's a kind of a never-ending story, all these annotation labels and whether you should propagate them or not, because they tend to create a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Is Gabriel here?
he was earlier.
Oh, he removed his agenda thing.
That's why I suspect that something came up, because he was in the meeting when I joined a bit early.
Okay.
So
That's too bad, because I would have loved to talk to him on this topic.
yeah.
Well, Gabriel, if you watch this on YouTube, then I guess Mail, you'll link up with Gabriel and discuss
Yeah,
this
I'll
during the week.
exactly. He's US based, I think, so I'll have a meeting directly with him.
Yeah, our stand-up times are not US friendly.
True.
I mean, this is something we have discussed multiple times. I think my general opinion on this kind of problem is that we should have kind of an include or allow logic, which kind of allows the user to configure which labels or annotations are propagated across resources.
I would love some like a glob syntax.
Yeah.
Where you could do like specific annotations, but also you could like do annotation /star if you want like all annotations from a specific prefix.
Yeah. I mean, we use an operator called Accurate. It's for creating subnamespaces in shared multi-tenant clusters. It has a very nice glob syntax for specifying the labels or annotation that you should bring along when something is propagated.
Oh, I will ping you in the design document if there is ever one.
Yeah. But of course, doing this will probably represent a breaking change, because now we propagate everything. So you have to be careful.
We are probably
we'll
minus
see.
a list of stuff. So I think basically the design document would have to include we're changing to make it make it more configurable, but we're gonna ship with these default globs because we already include them anyway.
Yes. We'll see.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Michael, are you here?
Yes. Hi, guys.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
been
nice to
before?
meet
Is this your first
No,
time?
this is my first time actually. So I work for a company called CME Group. We like a month ago, maybe we actually just joined the CNCF, which as like end users. And yeah, we're in Chicago. And just side note, I lost a bet and have to wear this football jersey because my team lost, and the managing director here is making me wear it. And it's gonna be super embarrassing because the holiday party's tonight, and everyone's gonna be dressed
Are
up
you
nice.
forced to wear it also tonight?
The bet was Christmas party, so
The entire day then.
I will probably take it off about 5 minutes into the Christmas party. As soon as he confirms that I'm wearing it, it's gonna go in the trash. Or he can have it back, one of the two. Yeah.
Thanks
So
I guess for the YouTube audience, we had a conversation with Michael here, which we're removing. Didn't realize this was going on YouTube, just because it contains details about his internal company workings, and we want to respect that. So from this point on, we'll be recording again. So thank you for that conversation, Michael.
yeah, no,
We look
yeah,
forward to any future contributions.
yeah. Thank you. I'll continue to talk to you guys on Slack about it, and hopefully, maybe in like a month, and we can see what I've done. So thank you.
Great.
No worries.
Okay. Next on the agenda then. If can I share this? Sorry, just a minute. That's everything on the agenda, right? So
Any other business?
now, sorry, Adam, say again.
Yeah, and that I was about to say, I don't think we've got anything else on the document.
Now, so Mail reminded me this morning about something that Mladen had done in previous weekly meetings, which is to divvy out some triage work. Does this, this may not interest you, Michael, and other non-maintainers, but go on, Adam, yeah.
I was going to just say before we drop into any sort of triage, do we want to do any other business call just to make sure no one's got anything else?
Yeah. Oh, I think Nicolas.
Nicolas, hello everyone. Sorry, just I won't use a lot of time. I just wanted to introduce myself. I reached out to a couple of you last CubeCon in London. I'm part of a security organization within Microsoft. I just wanted to let you know we are building what we call the NARC extension, which is basically this workflow that can be deployed to edge Kubernetes deployments, and it's based on cert-manager and trust manager. So we're really keen to contribute to the project. I think we made some very small contribution that you, Adam, already reviewed. So thank you for doing that. And yeah, I just wanted to be part of the community and see how we can help and how we can push forward in any way we can. So that's all.
That sounds excellent. It's always excellent to find more people to keep contributing to cert-manager. It's a cool little project.
I do remember you, Nicolas. I think you were very smartly dressed, and you were talking about a marketplace system in Microsoft, or am I misremembering?
We do have a marketplace as well for these workflows. Yeah.
Can you spell the name again? The name of the project, or
I can drop a link, but it basically we call Arc-enabled Kubernetes, right? You can have your own Kubernetes distro being OpenShift or Red Hat, or Tanzu or Rancher or AKS from Microsoft. And basically what Arc does is connects you to the Azure cloud, so you can have the control plane on the cloud and you can manage your cluster and your workload from there. We in particular are building this Arc extension, which is just an app that you can deploy to your cluster, and it's based on both cert-manager and trust manager.
Cool.
Really cool.
We've actually, especially in the trust manager space, we actually have a lot of changes that we're lining up for next year. Hopefully, Eric's been doing a lot of work on that. You'll probably be interested in including a V2 of the API, well, a V1 of the API, because we never did release a V1. So that might be of interest to you as well. It's hopefully going to enable much more features.
Cool. Yeah, I would love to know about that. Is that the whole trust bundles changes, or is that?
It's mainly a rename in the current cluster scope bundle resource to cluster bundle.
Yes,
because it corresponds better with cluster issuer and issuer in cert-manager. which will also make room for a namespace scope bundle resource,
Right.
which will be added when,
I think there's also,
Thank you.
as part of the thing, we've got a few API changes in there as well, since we're making a breaking change in the API group anyway. But we're trying to build it in a way that will allow us to have options down the line for further Trust Manager features.
Yeah. Also, we are going to align with the upstream cluster trust bundle. Is that the name of the resource? The Kubernetes upstream Kubernetes resource. So you can use it both as a source and also create target cluster trust bundles with Trust Manager. So yeah. But right now, I just have to finish the migration of the bundle resource. I faced with some problems, but hopefully I will solve them soon.
Yeah, and again, if you feel that there's an area that we can contribute or help in particular, that maybe you think that, hey, maybe there's this thing that we haven't been able to fix for a long time, it would be great to get an extra pair of hands to look into these. We're more than happy to help as well.
That's always good. Are there any features that you're missing in particular or would love to see?
Features in particular, we have one which is to enable the CA rotation for cluster local CAs, right? Just rotate both the cert and the key. Today, the way it happens, there is no overlap between multiple CAs, and you need to have an overlap, otherwise there is some service disruption. I know there's a few issues that have talked about this for a long time. We're working on that. We're more than happy to share what our approach is. We're not saying it's perfect or that's how it should be in the long term, but it's something we're actively looking at the moment.
I was thinking.
Yeah, now we're talking about the boundary between cert-manager and trust manager. We're not in particularly good in that area.
I was thinking the other day that maybe that about this problem, weirdly enough, and about how maybe the perfect solution is kind of an external issuer that will issue a certificate that can be used as a CA. Then when it's close to expiry, will create a new certificate object, and then maintains a bundle that can be used with Trust Manager at the same time, allowing you to issue CAs with the most recently within a window issued CA. Like I was thinking about this last week for no particularly good reason.
All right, so I don't know if you guys want, I can bring in the architect who's been leading the effort maybe next week, and we can have a chat about that, or we can do it offline on the issue as well.
Are you on Slack?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I think the main thing to do in actually this area is to finalize a design to actually write down how it's supposed to work, because there is a need for improvement here. I think we can all agree on that. It's just a matter of deciding how it should be built and try to think of all the corner cases and all the problems that might be in this area.
Yes, especially like when you're rotating CAs, are we tying it to just a root CA that is self-signed? Are we picking it so it can talk to other CAs, like in cert-manager, other issues in cert-manager in order to issue it CAs? Like there's a whole like scope of how this could be implemented.
Yeah. Adam implemented a nice improvement to cert-manager around the CA injector, which has caused our clusters to be a lot more stable when the webhook CA is rotated.
Cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I got to promote that for the next release, just so I keep a commit in each version.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'll follow up with you guys on Slack then, if that's the best way to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And feel free to join any of these when you feel you've got something you want to share, or you just want to chat. We're here. This is the last one for this year, but we'll be back next year.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bless you.
And bless you.
Okay. Thanks,
Sorry,
Nicolas.
Slack handle.
Oh.
Sorry, I need I cannot find your name on Slack. I wanted
Yeah, let me find that.
Thanks.
I was moving on to the triage. I posted some links into the agenda document, assigning each of us, the maintainers, a portion of the triage party tickets to be triaged. We could do that for the last quarter of an hour, or we could do that in our own time and have some time back.
We don't have a lot of time left. I really like the way Mladen did it. Are you still here, Mladen? Yeah.
Yes.
He picked some selective issues that we kind of discussed together. I think that's a bit more constructive than doing a normal triage party where we hand out things to all the participants. At least I feel that it. I mean, it's not that effective, but it was a lot more nicer experience.
I
Okay.
agree. I think triage party is good for dividing and conquering because everyone gets their own list. But I think if we by picking 5 issues before a community meeting and just if we've got time at the end, if we put the 5 issues in chat like as in a thread with the morning reminder of the meeting, then at the maintainers, so we all know to look at them. And then when the meeting rolled around, we should all have at least skimmed them, and then we can have a meaningful discussion rather than being on a Zoom call where we each individually go through our own list, not talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Sorry, I was the one who proposed this. I forgot about the fact that it's useful for everybody to look at the issues so that we have a meaningful conversation instead of.
Maybe we need the Slack bot to remind whoever's currently the weekly maintainer just to pick 5 issues.
Well, I'll tell you, okay, we'll do one. There's one that comes to mind which you can help me with. I'll share my screen again. I can do that.
Hey, excuse me, this is Michael again. I don't know where the raise the hand button is in Zoom. I just want to say I need to drop. And it was wonderful getting a chance to talk to you all, and I look forward to making those contributions.
And good
Thanks,
luck with the
Michael.
red chart.
Thank you.
Have fun at your Christmas party.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Right.
Okay, so share this. These are the latest issues, and the one I didn't understand was this.
Oh, cool. Stun. I like stun.
Stunner.
What didn't I understand? He said, oh yeah, he said that the DTLS protocol is configured by setting a custom protocol on a listener allowed by the gateway spec, which he linked to.
This is Mael territory.
Right. But then it says any custom protocol has to be sort of namespaced like this. And yeah, I didn't really understand what it's all about. Mael, do you have any idea?
I am reading.
I believe the gateway shim, the way it works, it loops through all the listeners, only checks the ones that are like HTTPS or TLS, and then only considers those for generating certificates. So I think what it's probably after is like if the gateway object supports these custom protocols in its listener configuration, then he wants he wants us to be able to like not ignore those blocks and
that makes sense. Some configurable way to do this. Okay.
Which again, not against. Yeah, he's linking to the lines which discard listeners, not HT. So it'd just be something in here that would allow that to be configurable.
Yeah,
Probably.
looks like that. Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be a flag or maybe another annotation on the gateway resource saying please allow these additional types. But
Mhm.
we I think that's what it's after.
Yeah, it seems like a worthwhile thing.
I I don't have any objections. I also think it's not depending on how you do it, it could be quite a small change. If you do it in annotations, it'll be a very small change. You've already got the object in that control loop. If you do it in config, it'd be a slightly bigger change because you've got to propagate the value all the way through the application. But I'm not against.
Oh,
Is
great. So this is a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Would this be configurable on the controller level, or is there kind of a more fine grade level where this could be configured?
I think we still need to filter out ones that don't make sense. So I still think it needs to be like we still need to filter. It's just like whether it's a flag/config file option or whether it's an annotation on because you already had annotations to the gateway to say please shim my gateway. Whether it's another annotation to say a comma separated list of all the protocols that you want, which kind of replaces our default of HTTPS and TLS. I think that's probably the simplest way to implement it, to be honest.
Yeah, of course, but I mean the number of controller options is just growing into the roof.
Yeah, as is the way when more and more people integrate with more and more things. I think annotation based is the easy one to implement, but I can see it being annoying every time you're doing a gateway to have to specify these annotations. So
Yeah.
it's
And it doesn't make sense to put it on the issuer. No, maybe not.
no, because a gateway you can tell to issue certs with any issuer.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's very
definitely
specific to gateway. It is very specific.
I think
Yeah.
it's either a controller config option or an additional annotation.
So I just talk me through it then. So ingress shim, is it ingress shim that's watching gateway resources? If it sees one marked for the attention of cert-manager with what it's got because it's got an issuer ref annotation.
Yeah.
It will not when this feature is implemented, it will not any longer discard a gateway that is marked with a DTLS protocol. It will create a certificate and where will it put the sign, like the secret ref or whatever? That's the bit I'm not clear on.
So the way the gateway API spec works is I believe you can have multiple listeners.
Yes.
You basically have an array of listeners and protocols. So at the moment we loop over those and we go, if it's not these blessed protocols, TLS, HTTPS, we just ignore it for config purposes because it makes sense it made sense when we're implementing it not to issue certs for things that don't need certs. So what the only real change is because the TLS block also goes into listener config. The main change would be that we don't ignore those. We add an option to specify additional protocols that we will also not ignore. Because I don't think I don't think we did hard code it because then we'll have constant PRs for additional protocols. I think it needs to be configurable. And then companies and teams can configure cert-manager to also respect these protocols when handling a gateway resource.
And does anyone know whether this DTLS protocol requires a certificate with a particular set of fields, or?
I would hope that because you can configure virtually every field of a certificate through the ingress annotations at this point. So I'd hope that the only change required is that we issue the certificate and then they can handle. We leave it in the control of whoever's issuing the certificate to make sure they set it up right via annotations to have the right fields.
He could demonstrate that this is viable by creating a dedicated certificate. Before one of us or he embarks on the code for this, he could actually prove that it's actually possible to get Stunner working this way. He doesn't say whether he's tried that.
We
That
could
is true.
we could ask like have you we could say something like we agree that supporting custom protocols would be a viable feature. In the meanwhile, have you tested this works by issuing a certificate using a standard certificate resource and referencing the secret?
But I mean, the certificate only creates a TLS secret of like the standard secret type for TLS.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be possible to deal with that, whatever you have processing it. It's just that it's a lot of work for him in this case. It's much easier to annotate the gateway.
Yeah. I think I like it as a feature. I think
Me too.
I think it's fine.
How will this deal with the listener set work you're working on, Mal? Like, will this impact that?
That's a good question. Depending on if it's an annotation, then yes, because because this annotation should be supported on both the listener set and the gateway. It depends on what the configuration, how the configuration goes. If it's a flag,
If it's that's a good point actually, because the fact of listener set being a resource that developers interact with leads me to believe it shouldn't be annotation configurable, and it should be a controller option if we implement it, because you probably don't want people just to randomly attach random protocols to their listener sets and have it cert-manager support it. You probably want to set that up at a cluster level, what protocols.
But what is the risk? Do you mean, is it a security risk, or is cert-managers just going to fail?
I don't think it's a security risk. I just think it's a boundary between what your gateway supports and trying to shoehorn in protocols that maybe your gateway doesn't support.
But is the protocol configurable on the listener set, or is that only configured on the gateway resource?
Oh, it's both.
It's
the
both.
same
Okay.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think it's up to us to choose whether, I mean, if the listener set is there and supports the protocol field, I would imagine that cert-manager should also support certificates for custom protocols.
Yeah, I agree. It should support it in both objects. It should support it in gateway. It should support it in X listener set, and then eventually listener set. I'm just wondering. Now we're going on to multiple objects. Does it make sense instead of using like an annotation to say please also accept these protocols? It's getting to the point now where I'm thinking it should be something you specify as a controller option via flag or config file.
I agree. I thought that was the idea from the beginning, or is he suggesting an annotation here?
Sorry, it's just me who went back to the annotation.
Express. Yeah, he wants to keep the controller configuration, but I did like the idea of annotation because it would be so much easier to implement.
Yeah, I agree. But
okay, I can put a message saying that why the flag or configuration, however you call it, is a good approach. It seems like an operator cluster operator concern, so it makes sense to have it as a flag. I guess, who is going to?
So can I ask a dumb question? Why do we have this ignoring of protocols? Why can't we just consider any gateway, regardless of its protocol?
Because, say for example, you've got a gateway that has listener blocks for HTTP and HTTPS protocols. Some providers, some gateway API providers may get confused or throw an error if you provide a listener block that says I'm HTTP and then has a TCP config inside of it.
Okay, got it. Right.
Oh, wait, you said TCP or TLS?
I mean, if you've got like a HTTP listener block, but that references a secret, a TLS secret.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that might confuse implementations. That's why I believe we filtered the protocols that we bother looking at.
Okay.
Right. We're running out of time. I need to go. So thanks everyone for coming and discussing that issue. And we will see each other tomorrow at the daily stand-up, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Happy
Nice to see
holidays,
you,
everyone.
Nicolas.
Yeah.
Bye.
Holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Have a nice
everyone.
holiday.
Bye, everyone.
Same
Bye,
thing.
Hemant.
Bye.